Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you're listening to this, wherever you're listening to this, we would like to welcome you to the Build Your Success podcast. Here at the Build Your Success podcast, we like to build you so you can build others. We do that through our coaching, training, and speaking events, but we also do that through guests we bring to the program. I am excited today to have Kyle Nurminen with us, and we're going to talk about maker spaces, uh, creating opportunities in lower deprived communities and the things he's doing. So let me have him introduce himself to our listeners today. Kyle, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me, Brian. Yes, my name is Kyle Nurminen. I work for Total Roofing Systems, the metal roof experts in Stuart, Florida. I've been in the commercial roofing industry for going on 20 years now. So you know as well with a construction background that one of the biggest challenges in any industry in construction is building the future workforce. So that's what I've been getting involved in. Right now, I've specialized in all types of commercial roofing all around the state. And that's always a struggle for us is, okay, where do we go next? Where do we bring in next talent? And workforce development is a major key to what we do. Yeah, right now my focus is metal roof systems, commercial wide, commercial all the way throughout the state of Florida and working on some national possibilities as well. Sorry, I stuttered
Well,
over
thank
that.
you, Kyle. And that is the seed for this program. As I started mentoring in the high schools to encourage young people to get involved in construction because I barely graduated high school. And I thought, what if I go in and explain to these students how important that education is and actually how it applies to real world? Because that's what I thought was missing when I was in high school. But I learned in that workforce development that I like building people as much as I like building buildings. And so that's why today we coach, train, and speak and try to help our industry. As you alluded to, this workforce development thing is so critical. And if we can help people, understand, hey, you don't have college is a great option for some people, and other people can learn trades and they can have a great career in the construction industry. And so I know you're passionate about that as well.
Yes, Brian. One thing I didn't mention that I probably should is that this is a leadership podcast. I'm ex-military. I went into the military right out of high school. I didn't know what I was going to do, and I went to the Naval Academy. And it doesn't matter what you were studying; it was all about leadership, and we carry that forward to us in our careers today. And that's what we're here to discuss: is how do people step up? We all understand and recognize the problem, but how do we step up as leaders in our communities to actually make an impact?
Yeah, Kyle, that is so great. And thank you for your service. And today you're serving others in a different
Pleasure.
but when we think about this maker space and how we can infuse opportunities, and that's what you're talking about is filling that gap from people that don't have opportunities to showing them how they can have opportunities. So let's talk about makers. First of all, what is a maker space?
Ah, so makerspaces actually, I actually discovered makerspaces when I was refurbishing some furniture, and I'm really good with wood. I could refurbish just about anything, but when it comes to the steel frame that was broken, I didn't know how to weld. So I was over in the Sarasota Bradenton area on the west coast of Florida at the time, and found a studio like a makerspace with $5 fee to go in for the day and use their welding equipment. And somebody was there to teach me how to do it. And I was weld my own frame. I was like, oh, this is cool. Then I got into writing some articles and some business development in the area all around Tampa Bay. Found out that these maker spaces were everywhere. And they're really cool. They're anything from a carpentry shop, or a sheet metal shop that opened a studio and a extra building in the back of their business and open it to the public on the weekend, teach people skilled trades. I mean, our business here, we're talking about opening a Saturday morning makerspace basically for kids to come in or young adults to come in and learn how to use the equipment and be creative with it. Maker spaces are anything from sound studios and graphics studios. If it's a library, it's not necessarily zone light industrial, but they can still convert that space into something constructive for creatives and entrepreneurs in these neighborhoods and in their communities. And a lot of them are in urban areas because that's where space is available and not readily used for business, but it can be allocated towards something that's helpful to the community. And it could be a membership fee. It could be a one-time use fee like the one I found. They can be a club, a certified actual club as a makerspace, have their own website, have a Facebook page. They're varying. They're all over the place. So nice thing about Tampa Bay was it's a cylindrical community. You got St. Pete, Clearwater, you got Tampa Bay, it's a tech center, and then you have then you have Sarasota, Bradenton, more the manufacturing. So you have the cylindrical community where communication, if you map that, you could find out like, hey, I'm over here, I'm getting creative advice, or I get this idea, but I don't know what kind of makerspace caters to that. We actually map the space around Tampa Bay, so people can find those spaces. So that's what a makerspace is. It's a creative, donated usually, or membership based space for creatives to go in and dabble and learn.
Sounds amazing. Sounds like some awesome opportunities. You talked about that cylindrical community effort in the surrounding areas. Give us an example of a success story of some collaboration between maybe a tech school and a maker space or an individual company. What's a success story with that?
Oh wow. Let me see. So somebody Teresa Willingham is a very popular person in the Tampa Bay area. Sorry, it's been many years, so I can't remember the name of her company off the top of the hand. She runs a MakerCon in Tampa Bay, and that I did an interview at previously. And she specializes in converting libraries, and now so they don't lose their funding, they can reallocate the space towards something else because the modern day technology libraries aren't what they used to be. So they'll take a section of the library and convert it into this robotic studio or sound studio or something like that. Some of these kids get 3D printers and they graphically produce something. They create little trinkets, and it could be a little plastic trinket. Okay, but a good idea of how the synergy comes around is Roe Brady Design is over in Bradenton, across the bay. Now this person can go over to Clearwater, St. Pete, Clearwater, maybe for a consultant, a small business consultant that actually understands their trinket, what they're trying to do to market, and they'll help them build a business model and a business plan together in how to do this thing. But now they need to create the packaging, the advanced engineering, like where are they going to get the plastics? How are they going to mass produce this thing? That's where Roe Brady Design comes in. So Roe Brady Design will actually say, okay, well, this material you're getting is very expensive. If you buy it in volume from this provider, it can get your cost per product down to this much and your margins will be this much more. We'll help you with the design and the packaging to bring it to market. So that whole synergy, you had a kid that was in a library in Tampa Bay talking to a business consultant that's in Tampa, St. Pete, and then goes over for the advanced engineering design from Roe Brady. Now, Roe Brady takes on a lot of these entrepreneurs' ideas, takes it under their wings as a partner to help get it out into the market. So that's a really good success story. I don't have a key product in mind. That's one of many examples that I came across in that area while I was working specifically over there.
Yeah, Cal, and when I hear you talk about that seed alone of learning how to run 3D printing, it may not be applicable to the little trinket that the young person printed, but man, they can 3D print on many things. Man, there's so much 3D printing going on today to create parts and pieces of products that are no longer available. So a company went out of business, and now their parts are no longer available. Now you can 3D print those parts. So a young person learning
Right.
that skill. In fact, in the ACE Mentor program, some of the students learn to run a CNC routing table that's for wood. But I was like, you can apply this to CNC anything. So when you learn to operate and program a CNC machine, now you can use and apply that in other industries. So again, it's just that seed that you're helping plant.